Well, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Interesting. Why is that?
Well, because as previously established on 2 episodes of the podcast with Carl and I've moved back to the town that you live in, that you won't disclose, right. But both Carl and I have disclosed, so it's Hanover. And yeah. And so Carl and I recorded together today.
Mm-hmm. I did see there's video proof of that.
Yeah, I looked across the table, saw his face. We shared a drink, something, a courtesy or a hospitality that I was prepared to extend to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm drinking alone.
I promptly spat in the face of your invite to record in person. I said,
yeah, I was like, hey, what time will you be over? And you're like, oh, let me check, never. And then and here I am 15 minutes down the road from you recording over the phone.
It's true. So I mean, okay, let's break it down. But bring us in first.
But to be fair, at least you helped us move, and Carl didn't. Oh wait,
did Carl?
Hang on. Carl was here and carried all the heavy shit.
I did not.
But admittedly, none of so we had like 2 or 3 people helping, and I was like, because I knew kind of where everything was gonna go, so I just kind of like stood on the back of the trailer and expediated, right? Like I'd be like, take this here, take that there, take this here. Every time in the rotation that Carl would show back up at my door or at the trailer, I would like bypass 2 or 3 things that said fragile to find something that I knew was like, could be dropped or kicked or, whatever. Right. And it probably wouldn't be such a big deal.
You're like, okay, I've got this priceless thing that my grandmother gave me.
Yeah. Or this yoga mat.
Or this yoga mat. Okay, Carl, you take the yoga mat.
Yeah. Yeah. And then 5 times later, he was like, how many yoga mats do you have? Like, this is... I said, I went and bought them just for this. Like, I don't...
just to keep you busy.
And just to keep you busy. Yeah. So, hello and welcome.
Welcome to the Movie Bed Podcast. I am Peter, and my recently moved down the road from
alone.
But still alone podcast host is Brady.
Yeah.
And listen, I will apologize. Old habits die hard, because I honestly... We've been planning on what night we'd be recording for the past 7 days. And it honestly didn't even cross my mind.
No.
Till maybe an hour or 2 ago when I messaged you confirming up like what time we'd start. That even in person was a possibility. And you're like, oh, like, are you going to be over? And I'm like, no. But for obvious reasons, there were some logistical reasons that it just didn't work tonight. But old habits do die hard, whether it's for podcasting or anything. So we just got to get in that habit. But the one thing I will say is, well, at least Carl helped you move, because I didn't help you either. So I really am just dropping it here.
Yeah, and I mean, I to make you to establish that you are actually not, a dick. You're on call. You're on call with work, right. and in order to get to my place, you actually have to go past the place where they shot the Blair Witch Project. So that's not a. It's not super feasible.
And of note, one thing that's imprinted in we're going to go on a tangent, and then we will get to 1999's Tarzan.
Sure.
But speaking of Blair Witch, like we do not. You live in a house that's in the middle of the country.
Yes.
And it's in a wooded area. And I remember you didn't live there at the time, but that's when actually friends of ours lived there, coincidentally. And we were all hanging out on like a back porch at this house, and maybe it wasn't you, but I remember you spearheading it or being involved with it, came up with this idea, and you're like, guys, we should do this idea where we play Slender Man, and one person has to be like blindfolded in the woods, and other people are like looking for this.
Were you here for that? Did you play Slender with us?
Oh, not even a chance in hell. I remember you telling me that, and I'm like, there's no way. Like, literally no way.
So, because I've done it. I've done it a couple of times now. Yeah.
And I'm like, could not pay me enough money. Like, not happening.
Yeah, so the way real life Slender works is you go out into the woods with a group of friends.
Ugh.
And one person has the shittiest flashlight you can find. And a set of headphones that are playing either just like static noise, or my favorite is like static noise, but also like years ago I had edited together. It was like static noise, but it also had like a heartbeat kind of, sound kind of feathered throughout. And that person just wanders around the woods, and it's their job to find like playing cards, right? So people have gone out and hid like 4 playing cards throughout the woods here. And so that person has to go find the playing cards. Now the other people are dressed in all black, and their job is to, before the person who's looking for the playing cards can find them, they just have to touch the person with the playing card. The person looking for them. The tricky thing is no one's allowed to run. You're only allowed to walk. You're only ever allowed to walk. And the person with a flashlight, their defense is that they can shine the flashlight at the people who are trying to touch them. And if you're caught in the light of the flashlight, you have to stay still. You have to freeze until the light's no longer on you. And so it's kind of this like tricky thing where you can't hear, but you have all the power because you have the flashlight, but you might not necessarily always want to use the flashlight because then you're also giving away your location, but then you run the risk of maybe they already know my location and I'm just defenseless right now. It's pretty great.
Again, reaffirming, I would never play this. I think an eerie soundtrack to play in addition to, or in combination with static. I remember my friend, I've never seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, but he had the soundtrack from it, and there was this one audio clip or this one sound or this one song from the movie, I think, obviously, clearly, and it was just honestly silence mixed with like human auditory sounds, so it was just like random kind of screams and eerie kind of like calls and things like that. And I feel like something like that would be quite eerie alone in the woods as well. But regardless, no matter what you're listening to, no matter how you cut it, I am not doing that.
Oh, okay. Well,
and kudos to those who do.
Is that because you'd actually have to come to my place to play it?
It's just because I don't have the courage.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the courage. But we're here today to review a vote winner. And we are starting a new path where we start some new habits and routines for votes. And
sorry, did you say new or nude?
New. Like,
oh, okay.
Different.
Oh, okay.
Different. And we had a Disney vote. And we had four Disney movies that we threw into a basket, juggled and saw what came out.
Gave the listener the illusion of choice, but then just drew a film out ourselves anyways.
That's so not true, but yeah.
No, it's not true.
It's not true. And yeah, we had a popular response, a very unilateral response. Like, yeah. I've never seen something for both the popular and the Patreon vote just be so one-sided. And we'll get into the results here. So here we go. So in dead last, we had Mulan, and a choice I put forward. Mm-hmm. And like, talk about dead on arrival. Zero, like it literally got zero response.
Yeah. I don't know if it like. I was going to say that doesn't surprise me. I'm not going to say that it doesn't surprise me. I'm going to say that I'm kind of glad. I mean, I know you're a Mulan fan, and I watched it years ago when we were preparing for the live action one. Mm. And I don't know, whatever. I mean,
yeah, I mean, listen, to quote you, film is subjective. We all have our own opinions, and I respect that. But man, there's something about Mulan that there's a couple jokes in it that maybe haven't aged well, like maybe one or two, not a ton. It's not horrible. It's not cringeworthy, but a couple lines. And what movie 30 years later doesn't have lines that don't age well? But I will tell you, some aspects of Mulan, as far as having like female leads and empowerment and some of the soundtrack in that movie still slaps. I will go on record saying that movie slaps. I think it's great. And I was surprised that Emily Mader, friend of the show, didn't vote for Mulan, because I know she historically has felt strongly about it. But regardless, there was no Mulan in the works for sure for this vote. Next up, in next to last place, had more votes, but not many. We had Hercules. Now, this is one you put forward. Talk to me about Hercules.
Well, you've seen it?
No, I don't believe so. If I have, it's maybe
Really?
in clips. But I can confidently say, other than clearly I know who it's about, I have no idea what happens in this movie.
Right. So it's about Zeus. No, I don't know. Hercules is just, I don't know. It's just a great movie. It's got, Rip Torn in it, James Woods, Danny DeVito, and it's just, I don't know. It's just, it's a fun, obviously Jim Cummings is in it, but Jim Cummings is in every Disney movie ever where voice acting was required. For those who don't know, Jim Cummings is like the voice of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and Pete from like Goofy, right? Like Goofy's nemesis, Pete.
Oh, yeah.
And Mickey's nemesis, I guess. Just like the villain of Disney. He's just kind of in everything. No, I don't know. Hercules is just kind of one of those fun. It's got a great soundtrack. It's fun. It's a fun setting, right? You've got the ancient Greek setting. And so seeing the temple and the what's the word I'm looking for? What's the Greek word for Greek?
Is it Pantheon or
no? What is the temple on the hill in Greece? The Acropolis.
Yes.
Right. So seeing like Athens and seeing the city of Thebes and then Hades and the underworld and I mean here's the thing, right? Like I have, since no longer being a child who watches Hercules, have learned some of Greek history and Greek mythology and all of that stuff. And Disney took quite a few liberties. Like they play it pretty, loose and wild with the, with the details. But it's still good. It's a fun movie, iconic lines, and pretty bright. Like it's a brightly colored, color palette. And so it's just a fun watch. It's just a nice, fun, humorous watch.
Yeah, fair enough.
Bobcat Goldthwait is in it, who you may not know who that is, but if you heard his voice, he's like a comedian from like the 90s.
Sure. Yeah, I'm vaguely curious. I am vaguely curious. And I mean, it is on Disney Plus, so I'm sure.
Sure, come over and watch it.
We have got like 407 movies that are on the docket.
Yeah.
In second place, but not a close second place, we had Beauty and the Beast.
Now, this surprised me.
In what way?
Oh, I thought this one would win.
I put it forward because I do really enjoy this movie. Always have, always will. Strong soundtrack, a lot of fun.
Emma Watson. Josh Gad. Oh.
No.
It's good. It's good, though. It's iconic.
It is iconic. And again, a really great soundtrack. And it didn't get as much of a response as I was expecting either.
Like I would say, of the four, Beauty and the Beast is the most iconic of these four.
Yeah,
right?
I would agree with that.
You're thinking like classic, like, and you know what it might be? I mean, I guess technically, so like Hercules, isn't Disney princess centric, right? Like you could technically, Hercules has a love interest in it, and depending on who you talk to, they may try to make an argument for it, but she's not a Disney princess. Sure. Mulan, again, I think you'd find some division among the camps, right? There would be people who would absolutely consider Mulan a Disney princess.
I would, for the record.
Would you? Okay. But I think some people wouldn't, right? Because I think some people, when you're thinking of a Disney princess, you're thinking sort of that, like, for better or worse, you're thinking that sort of medieval Germanic European castle with the gown.
Snow White,
like
and the
prince,
something like
right. Yeah, like Snow White, Belle, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. And so there's that. And then Tarzan, obviously there's Jane, but I don't think anyone's considering Jane a Disney princess. And so of the four, even if you are considering Mulan a Disney princess, if you were having to list all of the Disney princesses in terms of who is the most Disney princessist, Belle would be higher on that list than Mulan would be, I would think.
Sure.
Right? It's just sort of that, like, iconic Disney princess trope.
Yeah. Yeah, potentially. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think what we're saying is Beauty and the Beast, definitely more the iconic classic.
It's just iconic. Yeah.
Yeah. And then clearly, because you can read the title, we're here to review Tarzan, and it's so clearly one. You and I talked about, I have never seen our patron voters be so aligned. We've got times where we have great turnout with both common and patron votes alike, but sometimes the votes are working against each other, and for those new to the show, we have our patron supporters. They pay extra tiered money to get extra bonus voting power, and so sometimes their votes obviously help row in the right direction of what eventually wins, but sometimes they work against each other, where it's kind of a roller coaster as the votes go along to see which movie you're going to review. And with this, it was just so unilateral. Like, it was like it's almost a bit of collusion going on here, because it was just everyone was like, yeah, we're on the same page. Boom, boom, boom. And it was the biggest home run of a win I would say we've ever had, to be honest.
I would say so too. And I mean, obviously, because I said I thought the Beauty and the Beast would win, it goes without saying that I was surprised that Tarzan won, but right. I was really surprised that Tarzan won. Like, if you were...
Me too.
If you were to give me all of these films and ask me which do I think would perform the worst in a vote, I might have been inclined to say Tarzan. I might have been inclined to say Tarzan, just because I think it's of the... I don't know. I don't know why. It just seems like, not that I don't think it's iconic, but to me it seemed like one of the lesser, if not the least iconic of these four. Yeah. And so it really, really, I didn't know this many people liked Tarzan. Like, I didn't know there was this kind of love for, at least among our listener, I guess, however true of a sample that is for the general public. I didn't know. I had no idea that there was this love out there for Tarzan. So I was really surprised at this one.
Yeah, me too. But here we are.
Yeah. What the hell's wrong with everybody? we could have been talking about Hercules right now, but no. No. All good.
Yeah.
It had been like 20 years since I saw this film too. So that was maybe playing. Yeah, so that was maybe playing into it.
I'm surprised it had been that long for you. I don't know why.
Because burly men in loincloths?
I don't know. I just, for some reason,
because that's fair. I mean, I get it.
I think I just assumed it would have been something you'd seen more recently, but I have no context for that. You know, maybe any Disney movie except for Snow White you haven't seen in 20 years, to be honest.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So should we do initial impressions? Because I know you don't have trivia.
Hold the phone. I want to. We'll get to initial impressions in a second, but I do want to pull out some. We got to shake the dust off.
Oh my God!
Blow some dust off.
Are you about to do trivia? Oh my God! You just simultaneously blew my mind and made editing this podcast like 20% more work. Thank you.
I am happy and also sorry.
You know. Yeah, had you done that here in person, 0% more work.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, but I would have to bring my P4 because I would have to have the sounds loaded up. So that's just some housekeeping for me to know.
Well,
but it's good to know. So in person, it's less work. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or bring your computer. I mean, there's a whole setup here. You have no idea what I've put into preparing for you to arrive today. But
I'm so sorry.
It's all good. No, it's all good. It's all good. Don't worry. I'm not gonna continue to beat this over the head. It's just you didn't come, you bastard. It's fine.
I am a little sad. I wanted to hear the old sound effect from when I played that music, and that's
good.
I wanted to hear it. It did show up, but that's okay.
I'm glad. Okay, trivia. Is this payback because the last time you did trivia with me,
it didn't go my way.
I sealed your casket and lowered you down?
Okay, let's break it. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down.
All right. What do we got?
So, spoiler alert. Also, there will be a Patreon exclusive episode that will be released in tandem in some way with this episode. So stay tuned for that.
So if you're not signed up for Patreon,
this is a good plug. It's a thank you to our Patreon supporters to say, hey, here's some bonus content for you. And if you've been on the fence, here's another, some more bonus content that you can get from joining our Patreon. But regardless,
we get it. $1 a month is outrageous. We get it.
But so I will have one trivia question for you during this episode, and then when we get to the bonus episode, I've got some bits and bats that we'll get to, not in the formalized of me asking you necessarily trivia questions, but it might get there in the bonus episode. But for now, I've got one question for you, and how it's going to work. It's a question that has up to 9 correct components to it, and you'll understand when I ask you the question. So how it's going to work, it's not going to be the type of question where I say, okay, come up with your 9 and is that your final answer and it's right or wrong. I'm going to you're just going to have to just throw out some names and some guesses, and one at a time I'll be like yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and after you give 9 guesses, I'll say, hey, you got 8 out of 9 right, you got that much, this is what the percentage you got right on this. Or you got 6 out of 9, 2 out of 9, 1 out of 9. You follow?
No, I wasn't listening at all, but let's do this.
Okay. So, Disney villains who fall to their death is the theme here. Clayton, for spoiler alerts here.
Oh my gosh.
Clayton is one of 10 Disney villains to fall to their death. So he's one of the 10. He was the first to die by hanging, by the way. But can you name the other 9 Disney villains who fall to their death? So again, I want you to spit out 9 names, and each time you spit out a name, I'll be like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And it ultimately won't be like a correct or incorrect answer to this trivia. It'll be like, yeah, you got 4 out of 9 correct, you got 0 out of 9. Bada bing, bada boom.
So Clayton is just like the free square on a game of bingo here.
So there's 10 in total. Clayton is the free square.
Right. Okay.
I want the other 9.
And I got to get all 9, or what's like?
So that's what I'm saying. You don't have to get all 9, but just get as many of the 9 you can get, and you get 9 guesses.
Okay. So right off the bat, obviously, and these are characters or villains? Villains. Okay. So Scar from Lion King.
Yep.
Right. He's thrown off very parallel to the way that Mufasa is, it's kind of retribution.
Yeah.
Okay. Then there's my favorite Disney animated film in which the evil queen falls to her death. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Interesting.
Uh-oh. What do you mean? No, she falls to her death, doesn't she?
No, you're absolutely right.
Oh, okay.
This list, this didn't have that, but that's clearly one that's like the biggest. That's the OG fall to your death.
It's the first one.
That's like number 1.
Yeah.
Whatever, you're getting a bonus one for this one.
Okay. So that didn't count as a guess then?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'll let that work in your favor, yeah.
Then just trying to run through our other vote options. Beauty and the Beast. Gaston falls to his death, right? He falls off the side of the castle.
He certainly does.
Okay.
I'm going to be so upset. Not actually, but actually. If I asked you these trivia questions, you got 100% on that episode. Spoiler alert if you haven't listened to it yet. And then in this one, if you got over 100%, that would be nuts. But regardless,
do I have to be able to remember their names, or can I just
sound it out to me? And if it's if you're close, I won't be a stickler. But
it's the conservatorship mother in Tangled that
correct.
Stepmom, or
her name is Gothel apparently, but the evil stepmom in Tangled.
Yeah, she's got the conservatorship thing happening.
Sure.
Yeah.
And listen, man, you got to get at least one wrong because I got a new sound effect that I want to use. So just,
okay.
I'm begging.
I'm trying to run through. I haven't done any. Okay, wait. So, are we including Pixar?
There is a Pixar on here. Yes.
Okay. Nothing in any of the Toy Stories. Maybe A Bug's Life. I doubt there's anything in any of the Cars. Nothing in Monsters Inc. Nothing in Finding Nemo. I mean, really, the villain in Finding Nemo is the dentist, and that guy's just he's just a lover of fish. He just
sure, yeah.
There's a bunch of Pixar films I have not seen, and that's stressful. Nothing in Wall-E. Wall-E. In Up with the balloons.
Okay.
And then the string snaps and the guy falls to the ground, right? Or falls from the sky.
Does he? I don't have that. I don't have that on my list, so I'm not definitive enough to know if that's true or not.
What's his name? Charles.
It's Christopher Plummer. You're talking it's that guy, right?
Charles something.
Yeah.
Can you look that up? Does someone named Charles from Up fall to their death?
I'll look that up. You keep going.
Okay. Oh, the douchey guy from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yes, that is right. I mean,
That's his name, right?
And I'm letting you listen. And I'm letting you get away with.
He's got the hat.
I'm just saying. I
Nobody
will
knows
give
his
it to
name.
you, but his name isn't Tushi Kai. His
What
name
is it?
is Judge Claude Frollo.
Right, but did you know that prior to looking this up and having a list in front of you?
To be clear, I've never seen Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Okay. I'm feeling tapped out.
Okay, that's cool.
How many? What am I at?
You're at 5 guesses.
So I have 4 left.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you know what's funny? So a movie, every so often, like when I'm sick, I'll put on a movie that I've usually never seen, but also don't really have an interest in. Right? Something that I think is just kind of like neutral, so that I can like just have noise on there and like fall asleep to it or whatever. So last time I had COVID, I went to Disney Plus and I was like perusing around and I put on a movie that I'd never seen. And then I discovered that I think I was actually accidentally watching the second one first. And I put this movie on to fall asleep to, and then I kind of got into it, so I never fell asleep to it. Mm-hmm. But that movie is, the one, the mice. Are they mice? The Rescuers. Rescuers in Australia?
So of note, it's Rescuers Down Under.
Okay.
And I'm not. How much of a stickler do I want to be? He doesn't fall to his death. He goes over a waterfall.
And dies.
But, like, it's not like a free fall. Like, he's.
Oh, well, you didn't say free fall.
Well, I mean, waterfall. I don't know. I'm not going to count it. Waterfall is different than falling. Like going down a slide going down a slide is different than falling and breaking a hip.
I think if Gimli had been in that movie, he would have been like, he fell.
I'm gonna say no because it's not a free fall. So here.
And now, is this strictly Disney animation, or are we talking like? Oh,
I'm sorry.
Isn't that like copyrighted? Isn't that like, what is that? That's Price is Right or something?
Who knows? It's
okay.
Keep guessing. What else you
got? Is it just Disney animation, or is like?
There's one live action. In the interest of time, I'm going to give you another 40 seconds, and you got to rattle some off.
Okay, so live action Disney films count as well?
Yep.
Do they have to have been Disney at the time that they were made?
Ooh, I believe they were Disney at the time of make.
Ah, damn. Okay, because I was going to say like...
What were you going to say?
I don't know. I was going to start going through Star Wars.
Oh.
Yeah. Han Solo. I don't know, dude. I'm tapped out. I got more than I thought I was going to get, so I'm happy.
You know what? And here's the thing. Even though you didn't get them all, there was a couple that clearly were correct that wasn't on this list. That's on me. But
did you fact check the Up one?
Charles sorry, I didn't round back to. Yes, that is true. He does fall out the window with the balloons. So okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Maleficent apparently falls to her death in Maleficent in 2014.
Oh, so that's the live action one. Okay.
Yeah. Hopper in A Bug's Life.
So it's the other Pixar one. Okay.
Mm-hmm. This one's a bit of a stretch, but it's to me on the spectrum. It's closer than falling off a waterfall. They put Shan Yu from Mulan. He technically gets fired with a firework into a great pile of fireworks. So I think it's more the fireworks that got him, but who knows? I'm not too familiar with Little Mermaid, but they counted Ursula in this. And this
what?
Ursula?
No, I know, but I'm like, okay.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I'm not too familiar with Little Mermaid. Like in the premise of a story that's set in water, how did she fall? You like maybe she floated away slowly as the.
But also now, if the waterfall one doesn't count, then I don't know if I'm counting the Clayton one, because technically he hangs. He doesn't die from impact. Right, he's hung.
We're really getting into the weeds
on a vine.
No pun intended. We're getting into the vines here. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah. Womp womp.
And this one was really just to trip you up, but there was some crap mouse movie that I've literally never heard of. It was called The Great Mouse Detective, and apparently
I've heard of it.
I've never heard of it. From 1986. Apparently a mouse named Ratigan fell to his demise, and there you have it. But listen, you still did well. You still did okay. I gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 6 out of 9. And that's still pretty respectable.
Yeah, some crap mouse movie with a Rotten Tomato score of 79. Yeah.
Oh, 79? That's actually not bad for being a crap mouse movie.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
Oh, I see.
Making fun of
listen, no one's heard of it, so how good is it?
I think we have it. I think we might have it.
Are you serious?
I think so. Maybe.
Interesting. Maybe it's good. I don't know.
Maybe.
Regardless, I will commend you. You know, you got more points than you had guesses because you found a couple that were missing, and I gave you 6 out of 9. That's still respectable. A couple of these are stretches, and you've found a new gray area where as far as Ulysses McLeach from Rescuers Down Under, and as far as Clayton himself, what is it that killed them? I don't know. Was it the falling? Was it the vines? Was it the water? Who knows? But
okay, so play the applause. Come on.
I actually don't have that one loaded up anymore, but
okay, wait, what? You were prepared to do okay, hang on. But no, back up.
Sure.
Back up.
Yeah. Yes.
You were prepared to do trivia. Yep. In the sense that you had the trivia theme song up and you went out of your way to find a new "I'm sorry, you suck" sound. But at no point did you think maybe there should be a positive, affirming, "Hey, you succeeded" sound?
Listen, all I will say, and then we'll get to initial impressions, is people see what they want to see. So if that's what you see, maybe. But I will say it is a limitation that I only have 4 sounds, and I was running out of buttons.
Okay, great. I heard 2 of them. What are the other 2?
The other 2 I'm saving for the bonus episode. So I didn't want to use the one that I was considering for positive affirmation. I'm like, no, I'm not doing. I'm waiting till the bonus episode, and then if you get something correct in the bonus episode, you'll hear it. I'm giving you my own round of applause.
Wait,
you can't do that.
Hang on.
That is blasphemy. Oh, okay, there you go. And moving on, initial impressions. Good
Sorry,
job.
I can't hear you right now. Okay, go ahead. Okay, boy. So initial impressions. It's a fun film. It's fun. Okay. There's a couple of laugh-worthy moments. Clayton's death is surprisingly graphic for Disney. Especially the flashing of the lightning revealing the shadow of his hanging corpse. What I will say, this is how I'll wrap up my initial impression. I'm going to wrap it up with a hot take.
As you do, and I'm happy that the hot takes have come back.
Taking into account this film, taking into account Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs,
sure,
taking into account Lion King, and Tangled, and Moana, and Frozen, and all of those films. Best animated Disney soundtrack. better than Lion King. This film has the best animated Disney soundtrack. That's my hot take.
Yeah, you won't find a lot of people. Not everyone will agree with that hot take, but people won't say you're out to lunch with your hot take.
No, I mean, it's Phil Collins, and it's like every super iconic Phil Collins song, right? Yeah. Like, yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
I will say just the one quick thing. Overall, the soundtrack is pretty stellar. I will say In Sync be damned. I feel like Trash in the Camp is a bit rangy-tangy for me. You know, it's a bit annoying after you've heard it like once. So you're like, okay, that's more than enough. You know, on repeat, it is what it is. But
well, we can't all be sensitive to other cultures' music. I guess that's
that has nothing to do with it. Anyway, initial impressions. I will say, I think is overall a film. I think it's a cut below Aladdin, cut below Lion King. I said this before. I think it's a cut below Mulan. I do think it's a cut above other things, and I'm comparing to films at the time. So it's a cut above Pocahontas, cut above Hercules.
No, back up. You haven't seen Hercules.
It's a cut above
leave that out.
It's a cut above what I perceive Hercules is. And maybe I'll be proven wrong once I watch Hercules. But okay, I'll leave it at it's a cut above Pocahontas. I will say, though, this movie is a success for me based on the emotional response it gets from me of the storytelling and what they're trying to do here. And it's a success, both that and in technical ways. So I will say, unlike you, where you haven't seen it in 20 years, I didn't really grow up with this movie. I maybe saw it when it was relatively new, but I don't remember. So I've mostly only watched it in the lens as an adult. And so obviously the Phil Collins soundtrack and all that it tells slaps a bit differently as an adult. And maybe just some of the parenting aspects too of just, you know, when you see someone lose their pet, their infant gorilla, and, you know, you see Tarzan laying there without his parents, you know, all these things hit a bit different as an adult. And as an adult too, I think the segments of the story, I kind of never really broke this down before, but you've got all these different, it's almost like a roller coaster clicking at different points, and it's going higher and higher to like the eventual climax. This movie has its sections that it clicks through that I never really noticed until this viewing. So you've got like the first adversity is overcoming nature, where you have Tarzan literally killing and defeating the leopard, protecting his tribe. Then the next adversity, the next click up is his social adversity, where he has this interest in Jane, but also balancing things with Kerchak. And then the final human adversity, where he's saving his tribe from Clayton and death. So, you know, there's a lot of layers to this movie, and I think it's really solid. And just, you're right, the soundtrack's good. I won't say... There's a lot of good Disney soundtracks, so it's, you know, it's dealer's choice of which one's the best. I think for me, Beauty and the Beast is more beginning to end. I can listen to the whole thing over and over. Is with Tarzan's a bit top heavy. You got the Phil Collins ones that are great, and then you get to Trashing the Camp, and I'm like, skip. Regardless, I think Tarzan is a solid movie, and I was very tickled pink to be talking about it today.
Okay. Sounds good.
What do you want to break down first? There's some casting stuff I do want to get to.
Yeah, let's do that. There's some really interesting cast stuff. Like things that I could probably watch this movie 10 times and not go, is that Glenn Close? Like, I don't know why. It just never, at no point did it sound like Glenn Close to me.
I'm very happy you said that, because I also thought that. I've seen this movie a dozen times, and I don't know a whole lot about Glenn Close, but I recognize some of her main feature films.
Yeah, Dalmatians and...
Yeah. And
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Hook.
Yeah, Hook. Yeah.
And so again,
she plays you know who she is in Hook, right?
No.
So there's a man pirate who gets put in what's called the boo box. It's like a 2-minute scene where this pirate like betrayed or screwed up or, was treasonous and gets put in something called the boo box, which is just this chest where they drop scorpions into it. You get put in this chest and then they drop scorpions in.
That's messed.
And the pirate like beard and all that gets put in there, it's Glenn Close.
Oh, that's actually funny.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was quite surprised that was her in this as well.
Yeah. And then Tony Goldwyn, who I didn't know who that was. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's the murderous best friend from Ghost.
I just found that out 10 minutes ago as well. I'm like, hot dang.
That's Tarzan. I'm like, okay, Tarzan. Good for you.
Arguably, maybe his biggest role here.
Maybe. Wayne Knight as Tantor.
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
Oh,
Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Space Jam. Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Whatever she's managed to remain famous for.
Listen, this is as good a spot to say this as any. I've never had an opinion about her in this film until now, and it was more just I was anticipating, okay, what are we going to talk about with the cast? What worked, what didn't work? And the more I think about it, Rosie O'Donnell doesn't ruin this movie for me in any way. I still think it's a solid movie, but I do feel like she's just kind of there. Yeah. I feel
kind of like she was in Flintstones, kind of like she was in Sleepless in Seattle.
Sleepless in Seattle, yeah.
Kind of like she was in A League of Their Own.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in that, so I am curious. But I feel like, and I heard this is an interesting comparison, and no one matches Robin Williams, so it's hard to compare. You shouldn't compare. But I do feel like she's the not as good comic relief friend. So Aladdin had Robin Williams, Tarzan has Rosie O'Donnell, and there's just, I'm not even just comparing, let's take Robin Williams out of this, just as a comic relief side friend. It doesn't always land for me. It's somewhat annoying at times. So it's never stuck out to me as much as it has this viewing, but her lines are just a little over the top, not that funny, and something about her just doesn't really click for me in this role. But luckily, it's not enough to ruin the film or to be a complete distraction. It falls a bit flat.
The best comic relief in this film by far is Nigel Hawthorne as the professor.
Like the father, you mean?
The father, Jane's dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's so good.
I mean, if we're putting rankings here, if we were going to rank this, you're absolutely right. Like he brings more to the table in the end result of this movie than Rosie O'Donnell, which is kind of bizarre. Like as far as star power, it shouldn't be that way, but it's clearly the case.
Yeah. You've got Minnie Driver as Jane from like Good Will Hunting
and that's it.
And apparently 9 episodes of Will and Grace.
And apparently maybe The Phantom of the Opera, but that's also Google, so it could be inaccurate.
And yep, no, that's it.
I will say she rocks this role. Like she has the perfect voice for it, and it's excellent. And I think she does a great job.
You know what's funny though? The whole time I was watching this film, just because Jane's always smiling, like showing teeth smiling, and kind of bubbly and super friendly and excited and outgoing and whatever. From the moment Jane showed up on screen, I was like, okay, I know that we just did I know that they did a live action Tarzan movie years ago with Skarsgård.
Yeah.
And who played Jane in that? Hang on.
Wasn't it Maggie Margot Robbie?
It was Margot Robbie. And that's fine. But Keira Knightley is all I could see the whole time I was watching this. So,
interesting.
For what it's worth, that's
I could see it. Yeah,
she
would work. Yeah,
and then the young Tarzan is played by the kid that managed not to give up on acting after being in Home Alone 3. So good for him.
I mean, if that doesn't earn you the Medal of Honor, I don't know what does.
Right.
Truly.
Yeah. Which came out 2 years prior to this. So he was on a roll. He was like, this is the kid to take over for Macaulay Culkin. And then apparently he had an uncredited role in The Cable Guy.
Oh, good for him.
And The Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald, The Legend of Grimace Island.
What is... Oh, man.
What in the predatory sounding garbage is that?
Just jumping back to Home Alone 3, isn't ScarJo in that?
She is. Yeah, she plays the brother.
Interesting.
So this is the little brother of ScarJo in that movie.
Oh boy.
Some guy and I don't know what this guy's in. Hang on, let's look it up because maybe he's like super established.
Who are you talking about?
No, he's in nothing that anyone's ever heard of.
Who are you talking about?
Some guy named Joseph Ashton, and the only reason I'm mentioning him is because his credit is for Ape Boy, and I think that's just an incredible.
Who is Ape Boy?
I don't know.
In this film is
one of the friends. Yeah. One of the friends.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Jack Angel. Jack Angel is the voice of Monkey. Right?
Sure.
Like they just didn't. Roger Bumpus is the voice of Elephant. Like they're Winnie the Pooh characters or something here. Mm-hmm. Those are the big ones that stand out for me. Am I missing a massive?
No, I think you've hit them.
Important name.
You did miss. No? Oh, you did miss Lily
and
Collins,
Jim Cummings,
who was Baby Ape.
Right, and Jim Cummings is in this as the vocal stand-in for Tantor, but then also played Tantor in the direct-to-video throw-up-in-your-mouth sequels.
My kids, on occasion, as kids do, they'll see like various sequels on Disney Plus, and they'll like whether it's Mulan, whether it's Tarzan, and it's like Tarzan 4, Mulan 7, and these direct-to-video VHS sequels. And call me bad parent, call me gatekeeping, but there are times where like, oh, let's watch this, Dad, and I'm like, no, we're gonna stick with the original. Like, are we gonna watch this direct-to-VHS? Don't even have the carryover actors, or are we going to stick with the originals with the like high budget soundtrack that clearly is good? And anyway, call me what you will, but that's the game I play.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and this is no offense to your kids specifically at all, but kids are idiots when it comes to that type of thing,
just
right?
In
so
general.
you have to,
just in general,
just in general. So you have to guard them. I will say, there's one actor in this. It looks like it might be an uncredited role. Largely uncredited. I mean, I've found his credit for it, so I never really fully know what the hell that means. But Sabor voice uncredited, and that's fine. His name's Frank Welker, and the reason I bring him up is because he may be the biggest star in this whole damn thing.
What?
For being an uncredited nobody cares kind of voice.
Who? Sorry, what's this guy's name?
Frank Welker. I'm going to run you through some of his credits here.
I recognize the face.
So Frank Welker has been Oh, come on. Go back up. What's wrong with my computer? Frank Welker has been in, sounds like the majority of the Transformers movies as Megatron and Shockwave. And it sounds like he's just played all of the villains in all of the live action films. He played Curious George in 199 episodes of Curious George. He has sometimes been the voice of Garfield. He has been the voice of Fred Jones for a while now. It looks like the go-to voice of Fred Jones in a lot of Scooby-Doo things. He's been in the Smurfs, the Jetsons. What else we got here? More Curious George, some Mickey Mouse Clubhouse stuff, DuckTales, some Batman animated stuff. Like, this guy's the guy. He played Beast, the voice of Beast in Mirror Mirror. Like,
so yeah, like to be uncredited is quite interesting.
He did the voice of Bullseye in the Toy Story films.
Well, that's a couple squeaks or like coughs.
Well, it doesn't
like,
matter. The man's in Toy Story. Don't take that away from him.
I'm not taking it away. He's been in more Toy Stories than I've been in. Don't get me wrong, but Bullseye doesn't have any monologues. Let's say
none that you can understand.
Interesting. Yes, yeah, quite an uncredited role for someone who's got quite the accolades.
He's in 49 episodes of Dexter's Laboratory.
Yeah. He's the who's who of cartoons.
Awesome show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clifford the Big Red Dog. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. This guy's my new hero. Timon and Pumbaa. Okay, anyways.
I've got a question for you. I haven't come across this until when I recently was kind of amping up for a review. And so there was a critique I came across, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but I'm curious if you do and what your thoughts on this are. If there was a critique to this film, there's some who think that a critique is that it's not necessarily a musical. And so instead of Tarzan being involved with the songs that are happening and having that character directly moving the story along with the music, so, insert the blank, Beauty and the Beast, the main character is singing and progressing the story through song. And it's instead in Tarzan almost like it's not Tarzan involved at all. It's just like a song playing in the background and has really nothing to do with what's going on. Do you is that a problem for you at all? Does that detract from you at all? Like, set aside that it's Phil Collins, just in principle, does that make for a lesser movie or a lesser kind of product for you, or is it fine and it works and it really doesn't matter, and it's the song has to be good and it doesn't really matter what context it's used, whether the character is involved or not? And sorry, just for the record, it doesn't bother me. I think it's fine. Maybe if we were talking with a crappier soundtrack, then I would have a problem with it and it would bother me more. But I guess what I'm thinking is, it's not broke. Don't fix it. Phil Collins is great. The movie is great. It's fine. Don't force it. We don't need to force a character to sing if we don't need to.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, because the soundtrack is so good, because it's Phil Collins, I would say the fact that it's just Phil Collins singing for the most part actually makes the movie better. Because I don't need a musical number from Jane. I don't need a musical number from Tarzan. I don't need Clayton to have some villainous musical monologue.
Sure
right?
as hell don't need Rosie O'Donnell with any more musical components.
No, and I will say that song, the Trashing the Camp song, is so not that I like. I don't really have an issue with it. But it is an odd. It sticks out like a sore thumb.
It's the weakest of the entire fleet.
Well, even if it's not the weakest, it just sticks out like a sore thumb because it's the only song of its kind. It's the only actual character singing song, and so it sticks out, and it's weird in that sense, right? Like it's the black sheep of all the musical numbers. The one thing I will say, my favorite musical moment from this, and it's kind of like, it kind of treads that line between the two, is I love when Kala, Tarzan's ape mom, gorilla mom, starts singing "You'll Be in My Heart" to baby Tarzan, and then Phil Collins takes over. That's an amazing moment because it's not a fourth wall break, but it's kind of still in that neighborhood of like fourth wall breaky type stuff. I don't know, but but I like that.
From a film product perspective, they do thread the needle quite well there.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess what I'm saying is like, I don't need my Disney films to be musicals.
Sure.
And I'm trying to think of examples of ones that aren't, and I guess there aren't many. I mean, the Pixar films aren't musicals for the most part. But yeah, no, I guess most of them are, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, most Disney films are musicals.
Mm-hmm.
But this one I would say isn't. It's a musical movie in the sense that it has a strong soundtrack. It has a very foot forward soundtrack. And music plays a big role in it. But I wouldn't call it a musical.
No.
But no, to me that didn't detract from it at all. It didn't bother me at all.
Okay. No, that's fair.
So, yeah. I wanted to touch on, because I'm totally going to forget about this because I have twice now already. Yeah. I love, earlier when you mentioned sort of the emotion that's wrapped up in having, Kala having lost her child and then Tarzan laying there without his parents. That's powerful, but I think what really drives home the emotion of all of that is the fact that both of those tragedies happened in the same way. It's the same jaguar that took her baby and killed his parents. And so they are both victims of the same creature in their tragedy, and that is what, I don't know, that's what sort of bonds them. That's what creates this immovable bond. And so much so that the moment in this film that got me a little choked up, I will say that. I said it. It's been said. It is when Tarzan makes the decision to go to England. And to be honest, like when all this like potential, is he going to England? Is he not going to England? I remembered this film so poorly that I didn't know whether or not he ended up going. Like I didn't know if part of this film was going to take place in England, because the whole time I'm watching it, I'm going, holy George of the Jungle, right? Like I'm just like, George of the Jungle is such a satire ripoff of the Tarzan story.
Oh yeah.
Obviously. And in that he goes to, is it like New York or San Francisco or something like that, right? New York, I think. And And so I was like, oh, I'm guessing Tarzan probably goes too. And obviously he never makes it. And sort of the opposite ends up happening. Jane stays and blah, blah, blah. And in George of the Jungle, Ursula ends up living in the jungle with George as well. But when Tarzan decides that he is going to go, and he puts on his father's dashing duds for having been sitting in the mossy jungle for 15 years, I might add.
So yeah, dashing duds that the moths didn't eat it to complete
didn't destroy.
smithereens.
Yeah.
Dashing duds since that, like, he was the same exact dimensions as his father and
well,
and
yes
fit-
and no,
fit him
because
to
the
a T.
pants are everything's a pretty tight fit. And I think that's because Tarzan's much more swole than
He
Call
certainly
of Duty Daddy was, right? And so, but when he comes out and Tarzan's mom wells up because not because she hates the decision that he's making, right? She makes it very clear that what she cares about is his happiness, and she wants him to do, she knows that this is an opportunity for him to go be with the people of his species. But it's still destroying her. Right? And she's making that all too real, tough, motherly choice to be supportive in the face of heartbreak for her. And that was so impactful to me. Like, I was just like, this is well written, it's well animated, it's well, it's well everything. Speaking of the animation, this is a beautiful movie.
Actually, and just before you go to the animation, which I agree, it is beautiful. It is a good point that you raise, and I don't think I had ever really noticed or made connection before, because I obviously have seen this movie. I knew the details if you write them on a piece of paper, but I didn't really appreciate how mirror connection that whole storyline is, that it's the parents in one half and the child in another, that obviously it fits and it pushes things together from a story perspective, but it really kind of, you're right, has this full circle, this connectivity emotionally that really also just strengthens that storyline aspect. And so that just mirror image of each other is just, yeah, there's so much more connective tissue emotionally when you actually break it down and kind of digest it a bit.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. It's a great bond that they portray. The animation though, the balance that they find between animation and matte paintings is incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. And there's like some crazy like 3D unusual perspective shots in this film where like Tarzan's either like swinging right towards the camera or they do a bit of a pan with the animation where the angle changes or whatever it is. But there's a couple of really cool like action shots that feel really great. But the one matte painting moment that really stands out to me is there's a moment where the jaguar is stalking them and is about to, jump out and attack. And Tarzan's looking into the jungle, trying to make sense of what he's seeing. And the jaguar is there up against a tree, but is in the matte painting. In this kind of like there, but not there in the way that cats do when they're hunting in the wild. And it was just like, it just blew my mind. I was like, what a great just decision. I don't know. It was just artistically to me, I was wowed.
Oh, that's cool. I don't think I've ever had such an appreciation for that angle, but I think now that I'm the next time I watch it, I'm going to be on the lookout for it. I will say, and I'll loop this into the animation style, the fluidity of the tree surfing really works for me. just from like a silly comic-y, aspect. It's just fun, but also just the fluidity of how those sequences work it really works for me for this context.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. Do you have anything else, sir?
I think that's all I got. Until we talk on Patreon about this, to plug it one more time.
Okay. All right. So on a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rank the 1999 film Tarzan? 25 years old, by the way. 25 years old.
I can't. Oh, my gosh. I was having trouble. It was going to be good no matter what. So it was between a 7 or an 8. And I'm going to lean towards an 8 because there's more that just leans it towards being better than worse. And so if I'm leaning between two numbers, it's got to be the better of the two. And soundtrack, story, emotion, heart, animation, you're right. Like all these different things it hits on. And yeah, there's some things that, there's things that maybe prevent it from being a 9 or a 10. Maybe one song doesn't work for me. Maybe Rosie O'Donnell isn't my thing, but there's more good than there's bad in this movie. And there's worse movies that, as a parent, when your kid requests to watch the same movie over and over again, there's worse movies to have them request than Tarzan. What do you give this?
Yeah, like Cats.
What do you give this movie out of 10?
I'd give it a 7.5. I think it's super solid. I think it's fun. I don't think it's the best Disney film out there. It's certainly not the most iconic Disney film out there. And I will reiterate that I was shocked that this received the booming response that it did. But I'm glad that it did. Because Tarzan is a film that I would probably not be inclined to sit down and rewatch anytime soon otherwise. And so this gave me that opportunity. And that's something that, I'm grateful for this podcast for. It's something that I miss and long for the days that you and I would force recommendations upon each other. Because I watch a lot of stuff that I just never would have watched. Right? I just never, it would have, movies that I would have never sat down and watched, like Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Right? Or Vertigo. I would have never, ever gotten around to sitting down and watching them. It just wouldn't happen.
Man. For me, Medicine Man.
Yeah. Right? Films that you just like, I don't know. Right? And then but even films that are like episode specific, I would have never watched The Rock. Never would have watched The Rock.
Yep.
And I did, and I thought it was great. Right? Or True Lies. I really liked True Lies. It was a little over the top.
Yeah.
But it was good. And I enjoyed it. And that's something that Carl and I were talking about in the news episode this week that probably every other week, Carl and I have both made lists of films that are, the list of films that I can't believe he hasn't seen and the list of films that he can't believe I haven't seen. And every other week, we're going to go back and forth and make the other person watch one of those films. And it's going to be good. And the fun thing about it is the rule that we have baked in, and then obviously we're going to review it for the podcast. But the fun thing about it is one of the rules that we've baked into this idea is there is no vetoing. Right? And so his list has got a bunch of 80s action flicks that I'm really not interested in.
Sure.
On paper, not interested in. Maybe I'll really enjoy them. I don't know. And there are some pretty upsetting horror films on my list.
Good heavens. And he has to do it.
And he does not want one bit. But he will also end that conversation by telling you, like, in the same breath as saying he's not excited and doesn't want to do it, he will also say it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to push our comfort zones a little bit. What did you watch this week, sir?
I'm excited. It's been a while. I'm this has happened over the last period, but I've been rewatching, pardon me, some strategic Star Wars films just for fun. So not in any order, just really random picking and choosing. I watched Attack of the Clones, Empire Strikes Back, and The Rise of Skywalker. And I will say, I don't know if I'm just in a nitpicky mood, but every time I watch one of these films, I've gone on record the last time I watched all of them in a row and had an equal field of like, this is how I rank them. Attack of the Clones was my favorite, and it's still solid. There's still things I like about it, but there was something about the CGI when I watched it this time that bothered me, and it never has historically. I'm not sure if it's watching it on Disney Plus and like, on 4K on a big screen, just really the CGI was popping out at me, but there's something that really bothered me about the volume and the type of CGI. So that was unfortunate. Empire Strikes Back. I know this is unpopular because like a lot of people, that's their bread and butter. Like that's their favorite Star Wars. There's nothing wrong with it, but it was just kind of so, there's some great elements to it, some iconic elements, but there's also just the things that stuck out to me were some of the 80s elements, for better or worse. And for a long time, that movie just takes place on Dagobah, and Yoda just kind of smirking around and just doing what he does. So it's fine, but it's definitely not my favorite installment, and that might get me tarred and feathered. And then finally was The Rise of Skywalker. And when you and I reviewed it all those 5 years ago at this point, at the time we thought it was the shiny new toy, that we thought this might be the best Star Wars movie. And I've fallen away from that. I think it still does a lot of things well. And after I watched it this time, I feel about the same. It does a lot of things well. There's some things that are a bit tacky, a bit weird. But I'm really falling in love with the Kylo Ren storyline. I think it's great. I know a lot of people hate him, dislike him, but I think he's a complex character, and the things he deals with are real. And I think Carl hates these new installments, but I think there's something to be taken from them. And I don't mind Rise of Skywalker. So that's what I watched over this past period. What did you watch this week?
We may have to have you be a part of the episode where Carl and I finally sit down and debate whether or not Luke's story arc in the Disney sequel trilogy is consistent or not with who Luke is. That would be interesting. I watched, I was moving and stuff, right? But But I will say I did for sure watch one film, which was the 2009 film Drag Me to Hell.
Oh, dang.
Hadn't watched it in a while. It's funny because it is written, it's classified as a supernatural horror film. And it is directed by Sam Raimi. But it is 100% comedy.
Oh, really?
Oh, like satirical, like not just like, oh, this is so bad that it's funny. It's intentionally hilarious. Like it's kind of like if you were to take one of those like satire, like scary movies, like Scary Movie 1, yes. Scary Movie 2. It's almost like if you were to take one of those, but also add a couple of jump scares or a couple of like actual frightening moments in it, but then still have it littered throughout with like really ridiculous, hilarious, goofy satire. So it's fun. It's got Justin Long in it. And it's funny because Justin Long is the biggest name in it. But he's not the main guy in it. Like he's not in a whole shit ton of it. So it's a little weird in that sense. But it's I'm not going to say it's a great movie. But if you're the type of person who enjoys comedies, is looking for a laugh, maybe isn't comfortable with horror, but are always kind of interested in maybe dipping your toe in. Like, you know, you like the adrenaline rush that you get from it, but you're also a wimp when it comes to horror films, and you just can't. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I just mean, you know, but like, you just can't handle horror films.
Right.
Drag Me to Hell is a perfect film for that, right? Where you're kind of like, you'll get those little adrenaline rushes, you'll get the one or two jump scares, but it's so padded with humor throughout the rest that it makes it still feel light and goofy and fun. So I would recommend, that would be my recommendation for anyone who finds themselves in that category. So
cool.
Yeah. Wrap it up, sir.
Well, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for joining us. Please check out our socials below, like, follow, subscribe, join our Patreon. It's ways for us to give you some perks back, and it's ways for you to help us support the show and keep the show going. So stay tuned for upcoming movie news or upcoming votes. Just stay tuned. It's never a bad idea. Just do it. Just do it.
I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. You know what I like even more?
Phil Collins.
Podcasting in person, you bastard.